This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Mike Murphy.
Hey, Charlie, thank you for the introduction. Yes, I am Mike Murphy, host of the Good Neighbor Podcast. We talk to local business owners here in Northern Kentucky to let you know them as human beings, people, not just logos on a business card or a logo on the side of a truck or on a building. So we have with us today a local business owner. He is a realtor here in Union, Kentucky, a guy named Ryan Harvey. Now, Ryan is known to some of you, and many of you don't know who he is. We're going to make sure to change that today. Anyone listening to this podcast is going to know Ryan Harvey as not just a business owner, but a human. And so with that being said, Ryan, welcome to the podcast.
Mike, thank you for having me.
Welcome. And let people know who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, I'm a full-time realtor here in Northern Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I do specialize, in Boone and Union. That's where I live. In addition to that, I also just recently got my mortgage license.
Okay.
So I do both real estate side and mortgage side. Kind of own the home buying and selling process, holistically from beginning to end. So
Okay.
kind of a unique combination here in the area.
That is unique. I mean, I'm not used to talking to realtors who also do the mortgage side of things. So that's an interesting dynamic that I hadn't considered. I didn't really know you could do that. We're not going to dive too deeply into the whole mortgage thing. That's a whole different podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I need to have. But just in terms of, I guess the real estate business, what is your take currently on the current state of real estate in Northern Kentucky?
Well, the area as a whole just continues to, remain very strong. Obviously, Northern Kentucky and Boone County and Union in particular are some of the fastest growing areas. That has to do a lot with, obviously the big employers that call Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky home, right? So Amazon, DHL, P&G, Kroger,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of thing. So really, the Northern Kentucky market has not seen the same impacts that we've seen elsewhere. So home values continue to remain high in Northern Kentucky, and with Union leading that. And then, inventory obviously being at record lows. It's a tough market sometimes just because the availability of homes is so marginal, but the market itself is still very strong. There's still a lot of buyers and sellers in this area. And, if you're willing to put in the work as a realtor, you can 100% stay busy in this market.
So inventory at record lows. What does that mean to the average realtor out there? And to, I guess, anybody looking to purchase a home? Like, what kind of market are we in right now relative to that?
So low inventory, typically means a seller's market, right? So supply and demand right now, supply is low, demand is still up. So what does that do to home values? Well, that, tends to make them go higher. The mortgage, the interest rates that you're seeing on mortgages, that's obviously a hot topic for everybody. That is helping to maybe slow the rate at which home values are increasing, but not, we're not decreasing by any stretch of the imagination. So I think what will happen is as interest rates start to come down, you're going to just see a surge of buyers who have kind of been waiting on the sidelines, waiting for that first indication of a break.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really think that that's going to drive a lot of buyers back into the market, and it's actually going to be a good thing for property values and for homeowners in the area. Obviously, the goal with sellers is to get them primed and ready for that, and then same thing with buyers too, right? Get them lined up and ready to go, so that when the home that they've been waiting for the last year finally hits the market, they're in a prime position to buy, and the sellers are in a prime position to sell.
So interest rates, that's something that, when somebody wants to buy a home, of course, they're going to go online and they're going to look at interest rates and they're going to try to, it's almost like when you're in the stock market, you're trying to time the market.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're trying to find the perfect time to get in and get out or whatever. In the real estate market, that just means like the perfect time to get in. Like, when should I buy that house? And I just want to give some perspective to people that, I, once upon a time, when I bought my first house, interest rates back then were like, I don't know, like 12, 13%. And you can wait around, but if you don't have the perspective of big picture throughout life, what interest rates have been and could be,
Sure.
you look at interest rates today of 6 point whatever, 7 even, and you think, oh my God, I would never buy when interest rates are so high. That's a perspective issue. Interest rates are really not that high compared to speaking to what they've been in the past.
Correct. And the kind of the way that I present this, especially to buyers, is if you wait for the perfect time to buy a home, it'll never come. There's never a perfect time where you're going to get the best price on a home and the lowest rate, and the exact house that you're looking for in the exact area. That just the stars just don't align in that nature. So I never encourage anybody to overspend. I mean, I never want that. I don't want anybody to ever put themselves in a position, where the affordability comes into play, right? And interest rates have a lot to do with that. But the thing to realize is that you can always change your interest rates. You can never change the purchase price of your home, right? So as rates start to come down and values do go up, you'll start to see that trade-off where, I'm paying a lower interest rate, but I bought at a higher price. And I've actually got some graphs and some charts that I could show where I can plug in numbers that says, if your rate is at this much and you buy at this price point, versus if you wait till, rates are at this and home, and you can show the difference, and you will find your break-even point. And the break-even point's not as far as people think it is.
So it's funny you bring up, charts and graphs. Charts and graphs is something that many of us use as a punchline to a joke. We kind of roll our eyes at it, but then when you're in the middle of an event such as purchasing a home that is one of the most major purchases you'll ever make in your lifetime, those charts and graphs become something that you rely heavily on, and you want the comfort of knowing that you're making the right choice and you're making it right now, and so on and so forth. I know that just because I've bought and sold homes through the years. You're making a decision in the moment, but quite honestly, without perspective, bottom line is you need a professional to kind of help guide you. And you want to buy a house, you see the dream, you see yourself in that home that you want to buy.
Yeah.
But if you make a decision hastily, there comes a time a year down the road when you're in that home and you're like, what the hell was I thinking? What was I doing? You need a professional to kind of help you step through that decision and think of all things, not just the here and now and the excitement of buying a home, but let's take a step back and let's look at the entirety of what is not only here right now, but what is to come. And I think that is something that a real estate professional brings to the table and kind of helps, especially young people, keep them from making a hasty decision. And it helps anybody make a decision that's thinking of the here and now and the future you. So that's why we need somebody like you in our corner.
I 100% agree, and I love working with first-time home buyers. But I tell all my clients, you hire me as a professional, both for my insight, my representation. But sometimes I have to save you from the issues that come along, right? To represent you, to protect your interests, but sometimes I have to protect you from yourself, right?
I say that all the time. Yep.
So, buyers, sometimes you see, they see a property and they love it and they get that gleam in their eye and they're like, well, they don't think about the roof being, 25 years older. They don't think about the the issues, the development that may be going on in the area that could affect property values. And the same thing with sellers too, is, sometimes, sometimes sellers do have overinflated values of their home, or sometimes they don't know that they can get as much. They just have people can be short-sighted just by nature. And so having that kind of independent third party perspective can really help on both sides.
I agree. So having said all that, that's the business part of you. Also a personal side of you.
Sure.
I always ask everybody about their family.
Yeah.
Because when you're in a business such as yours, at the end of the day, you come home, you kick your feet up, you have dinner, whatever. Whether you've had a great day or you've had your ass kicked that day, there's somebody you go home to that kind of helps get you through all that. It's called your family.
That it is.
Do you have a family?
I do. My wife, Sarah, and I are, we will have been married 20 years, almost 20 years. Actually, 2026 will be 20 years. So, met at UK, decided to settle in Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
She's from Cincinnati. I'm from the Lexington area. So this was kind of a, happy medium between both of our families. 2 teenage daughters. One's a freshman at Ryle, and the other's an 8th grader at Ryle, or I'm sorry, 8th grader at Gray. So we'll have 2 at Ryle next year.
Okay.
Both athletes, both play sports for Ryle. The 8th grader plays tennis for Ryle, and my freshman plays volleyball for Ryle. They play club sports outside of the year. So, basically when school's in session, it's nonstop between either club sports or school sports, or, trainings or practices. It's all we do at night is carpool around, I feel like.
Right. So it's that season of life you're in. So were you an athlete at all in the school?
I was. I played soccer, didn't play competitively in high school, played recreationally, all the way through college, played recreationally. Play golf. I'm still a big golfer.
Okay.
Coming into that time of year, which is nice too, when school sports slow down and our kind of personal recreation gets to pick up a little bit. But so that I don't have I never obviously played volleyball, never played tennis, but that's my background. My wife played basketball through high school. So.
Okay, good for you. When you guys go out and have fun, when you're not working, when you're not doing your sports, when you get that time to go out and explore the world, what does that look like? Where do you go? What's your vacation time look like?
So we always take a spring break trip every year. We try to go somewhere in the summers, as time permits. Definitely stay pretty close to home. We live in Triple Crown. We love our neighborhood. You can usually find us, tooling around the neighborhood on the golf cart or playing golf. But we have a really great friend group, locally, and love just spending time, close to home. But definitely do try to, definitely do a spring break trip every year. Try to go somewhere every summer if we can too. A lot of concerts that's one of our favorite things to do is concerts. So, if it's within 2 hours and it's somebody that we want to see, chances are we're going to go see them. So.
All right. So this will be a telling thing about you. Who's your favorite band of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like if you're listening to the radio, or if you like, music, if you owned, like who is it?
So we use Pandora channels a lot, or Apple Music channels, and I can tell you that like Noah Kahan, Tyler Childers, those actually we're going to see Tyler Childers next month in Lexington. But those are kind of our go-to stations. Obviously, we've reached that age where we still do yacht rock. I don't know if not yacht rock.
I do.
Definitely
it's very soothing and calming in the background, right?
Love some yacht rock. Michael McDonald.
Right. Minute by minute.
So very, very eclectic taste of music. So just love concerts and love that atmosphere.
All right. I've always been a Pink Floyd fan. And Zeppelin is my thing, and Ozzy, and AC/DC. But lately, I've just been deep into the rabbit hole of all the Pink Floyd stuff and all the stuff that nobody's heard or seen or whatever. So music is a big part of should be a big part of everyone's life, because
Sure.
it's just we need to feed our soul as we feed our bank accounts.
100%.
All right. So you mentioned UK.
Mhm.
Okay. I know that when people think of UK, they think usually basketball. I mean, they've had a great, football team recently, but anyways, when it comes to UK, we are used to UK being at the top of the ranks
Yeah.
coming into March Madness.
Right.
I mean, they're still doing
Number
okay,
3
but
seed. That's
yeah,
not
that's
terrible.
not
That's
bad, not bad at all.
Nope.
Do you, I mean, you've got that dog in that hunt. Are you, I guess what I'm saying is, have you filled out brackets, and how much money have you put towards your team?
You don't want me filling out your bracket. There's a lot that goes on in my brain all day, and sports, while I like to play and watch, just tracking it and that knowing all the nuance of it is just not one of those things that I am able to reserve bandwidth for. So you definitely don't want me picking out your bracket. I don't care if UK is a number 1 seed or a number 16 seed. I'll have them, going all the way to the championship. So
I'm a Michigan man. My team's ranked, I'm a 5 seed going up against a 12. I don't feel really good about it, quite honestly. But a lot of my family members are right there with you. They're rooting for Big Blue. I'm Go Blue. You're Big Blue. Go Big Blue. Yeah, there's a difference. People don't always get that, but there is a difference.
If you've never been to Long Necks during a UK game, especially a big UK game, there's few atmospheres. I mean, I'm from Lexington, so outside of Lexington, I just don't think there's any venue or any atmosphere that's quite as exciting as that. So that's kind of our local UK.
A lot of that is because they provide a lot of beer.
That helps. That helps a lot. Yeah, not gonna lie.
Right. So before we wrap up here, are there any things we haven't talked about, like last thoughts you want people to know about you or your business? Like what are your parting shots here?
Yeah. So I think we live in the greatest area. I think Northern Kentucky is, starting big and working in. I mean, I think Northern Kentucky is a fantastic area. I put it up against anywhere in the country. Boone County among Northern Kentucky is, my opinion, the best. And then within Boone County, I just don't think you can beat Union at all. This is home. This has been home to us now for, close to 15 years. We've got very deep roots, know everybody here and what's coming up, it's an amazing area to raise a family. And I steer everybody I can towards Union. I mean, it's not for everybody, I get that, but if they're saying, hey, look, these are the areas that I'm looking at and Union's one of them, obviously I'm going to be the biggest advocate for the city or just the area in general. I just think it's a fantastic area to raise a family. And there's no shortage of realtors in Northern Kentucky. I mean, I always say you can't throw a stick in Northern Kentucky that you don't hit a realtor, and everybody's, cousins, brothers, husbands, sisters, dog sitter is a realtor. And so you definitely have no shortage of options. I think if you're, looking for somebody who is really going to just invest in your needs, actually find you, work with you to get it exactly what it is that you are looking for. I just don't think that anybody can do what I do. I mean, I'm sure we all say that, right? I mean, that's everybody's feel. No, nobody does what I do.
But you got to believe in yourself.
But I really do. Yeah. I mean, communication is critical to me. I mean, I'm available to my customers and my clients 24/7, and will always 100% tell you straight, even if it's news you don't want to hear. I'm always going to shoot you straight, and I just think it's a fantastic time to get, if you don't have a house, it's a fantastic time to get into the housing market, and it's a good time to consider upgrade, downgrade. That is, there's no bad time.
Yeah, better to own a house than not own a house.
100%.
Just dive in, and I think too many people make assumptions about themselves, like I can't afford a house. It's not the right time for me. Whatever that argument might be, they're arguing for their own limitations. But if they talk to a professional, especially someone like you that can help on both sides of the fence, the real estate and the mortgage part of it, they see possibilities that they wouldn't have otherwise seen if they hadn't spoken to you.
Well, and realtors and lenders, that's 100% true. Realtors and lenders, do work hand in hand through the entire transaction. So, you're in constant communication. I mean, sometimes, I think understanding the mortgage side of things is only going to help me be a better realtor, and understanding the real estate side of things is only going to help me be a better mortgage lender, right? As you touched on home ownership, I think it's 100% true. It's interesting, you talked about interest rates a while ago, but what people don't think about is, interest rates might be 6.5% right now, but if you rent, your interest rate's 100%. Because you're building no equity, you have nothing to take with you when you leave. So, you're essentially paying an 100% interest. Yeah. At least with home ownership, you're building some wealth, you're building some equity, you've got some tax deductions, and you've got some ownership.
With rental, you're building somebody else's equity.
100%. Yeah. Rental is an option for people that need it, right? I mean, it's not. I'm not here to dog. There are lots of people who rent for a variety of reasons, and those reasons are their own. And but if I think there would be people who are surprised at some of the options that are out there.
Some people are renting strategically because they want to rent, and they have a specific path ahead of them, and rental is a part of that. They don't want to own a home for whatever reason.
Correct.
But it's just that's why you have to have a conversation, educate yourself, and that's really what it's all about. Make an informed decision, and you can help people do that.
Yeah, 100%. I'm here for your best interests, whether that's owning a home or not, or mortgaging a home or not. I'm here to help you in whatever works for you the best.
Perfect. All right. Well, Ryan, Harvey, we are done for now. This was a very fun conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I hope you weren't too nervous.
No. I think
we had a good time.
I told you before, I've been told I've got the face for a podcast. So the fact that this is being video recorded makes me a little nervous.
No, you did great. Yeah,
appreciate it.
No, we're all good. So before we go, I want people to know exactly how to reach you. What's the best way to reach you?
Best way to reach me is to call or text me. My phone number is 859-640-2106. You can call or text me anytime. Facebook's also a great option. I am on Facebook. I am Ryan Harvey, Realtor / and then my NMLS number 266-3518. So, and then you can also find me. I'm pretty active on social media in the neighborhoods and the county pages. So probably find me that way as well.
A lot of people know you. Some didn't. Now they do.
Some probably wish they don't.
You're a good guy. You're a good dude.
Appreciate it.
And if you weren't a good dude, I wouldn't have you sitting here so close to me right now.
This is very close. This is an intimate setting.
We're very close, inches apart. So thanks for your time today. I'm glad people got to know you. I'm glad that you came in and spent a little time with us, not just me, but with Northern Kentucky.
Yeah,
so
thank you very much
again. So all of you out there, this is the Good Neighbor Podcast. We're always happy to help you know, like, and trust business owners in the community, especially real estate, because real estate is a big part of all of our lives. So thank you for spending time with us today. Till next time, everybody out there, please be good to your neighbor. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Union. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpunion.com. That's gnpunion.com, or call us at 859-651-8330.